Thank you so much for joining me, Bubba.
I'm
Golf Love UK. I've got with me an absolute legend of the sport, one of the biggest names in golf, without any doubt. And for me, and based on everything I ever read on the internet, not the internet is gospel, one of the most popular people in golf. So a career of wins and majors and is great, but what's it like to be regarded as one of the nicest people in the sport, one of the good guys? That must be nice.
Yeah, it's nice. It's one of those things where my first part of my career, I was scared, right? I was scared to death from a small town, learning how to play golf with the cameras, with the lights, with the fans. And you learn who you are as a person and you try to develop. And over the years, I think people have really figured out who I am, and I really just want to help, and I really want to do other things. Golf just gives me the avenue to help other people. And, after 16 years on the PGA Tour, I think people started realizing that I'm here to help, and I want to do the good things that I've been able to accomplish in my career. It's actually helped me do more things off course than on.
Well, can we go there, talk about some of the off-course stuff that you've done? Because I think it's sometimes nice that anyone can come on here and say, Bubba, tell me your favourite club, Bubba, tell me your favourite course. And that's almost a bit trite. It's been done thousands of times. So do you want to talk about the off-course? Because I want to talk about the goats later. Tell me about some of the off-course stuff that means a lot to you.
The first one is in Pensacola, Florida. Helped do a children's hospital, okay. 5 stories. So it's just built for children. It's the only one around, 300-mile radius. So that's where all the kids go when they have a sickness or a car injury, some kind of injury. My kids have used it a couple times with broke bones.
Kids break bones, don't they?
Quite a bit, yes. Yeah. And my son fell right on his nose on a step, and so he broke his nose right across here. So he had to go in. But then when you think about the clinic or hospital, however you want to word it, in Africa, we built one there. Water wells, fresh water in Africa.
This is the stuff people don't see, and it's so easy for people to make comments. And we live in a world where people like to have their say without knowing anything. And I think it's important that information like this is shared because you've done a lot for other people.
Yeah, but you don't want to. I shouldn't have to tell other people,
no,
right?
You
if you get to know me, you're going to know that I'm doing things right. I don't need to tell the world about it, but yeah, we built 2 churches in the United States. We've helped our church build some buildings. We've done some things throughout Guatemala. We've biggest supporter of junior golf. The First Tee program in Pensacola. Helped them buy a facility and do some things. So there's a lot of things that we've done. Adoption. Both of my kids are adopted, so we've helped a lot with adoption in the United States. So there's a lot of things that we've given back to. Not only money, but time and energy. I've tried to, I try to give away, quite a bit of my money just so I can help people and get people to live their dream out, right? Somebody helped me when I was a kid. The sponsors of junior golf tournaments where it was free or cheaper for my family to get me in the field. So I try to do that same thing, give back as much as I can.
It's an incredibly good thing and kind thing to do, and I'm glad we touched on it. But as you say, we don't need to tell everybody. So I want to move on to the major thing that people will talk about and think about now with you is the range goats. And
yep.
I think so. My little girl, she's 5. She has a passing interest in golf because her father's obsessed.
Yeah.
But the thing she is obsessed with, and she doesn't look for any player unless they got the pink range goat sign next to them. So we sat down the other week watching LIV. And she went, range goats for 1 because you guys were in first place in Vegas. I know you didn't end up with that position, but you were. And she was so excited. Now, she doesn't really, if we're being honest, care that much about golf per se at the moment.
Yep.
But she does care about the range goats. How does that make you feel that there are children, because they like team sports, that care more about golf because of the teams? That's got to be a great thing.
It is a great thing. That's one of the reasons why I jumped to LIV. I saw the beauty of it. I saw change. I think the sport can be boring at times, and so with this new change, I thought I could be part of it and do some good. Coming up with a team name, the team colors, that was the fun part for me.
And you nailed it.
Using my child side of my brain to be able to do that and make it where my son was at the time, he was 11. My mom was 76. And so I thought if I could get them to like it, that's two different worlds, right?
Yeah.
And so that's what I tried to do. I tried to come up with a name and color scheme that people would enjoy and know. And like your daughter, like you might not know who the 4 players are, but you know the logo,
Yeah.
right? And you get used to the logo and you see the logo. And so, yeah, it was, it's fun. You know, when I came up with the logo, you know, there's a green and there's the flag. You see that in there?
Do you know what? I've been around LIV since day one, and I've never noticed that.
So that's what that is. It's hard on a logo, but so there's the green,
Yeah.
there's a
I see
flag,
it.
and then irons, golf tee, the nose and golf tee and golf ball, hooks and slices,
Controlled, as you
right, and then obviously the goatee of the goat is like the rough, right?
I love it.
And so yeah, so there was a whole
Maybe that's
reasoning.
not been explained enough for people to see,
Right.
because I've been around LIV Golf right from the start, and I'd never noticed that.
Right.
Mind you, it took me about 4 weeks to notice the 4 aces and how that actually had been. But so maybe I'm not
Right.
observant.
Right, but yeah, so we took time. And, you know, I was injured at the time when LIV took off, and I became an announcer for 5 weeks. But
Did you enjoy that?
I loved it. I
Yeah.
loved it. I wanted to play, obviously,
Yeah.
but I loved it because I got to see the other side of it. You know, you're talking about being kind and considerate and all these things. When I saw that from that point of view, trying to get you to do an interview, and you're like, because I've been on that side and I'm now on this side. So I realized how difficult it was. I realized that there was another city. So this golf tournament right here, right? You're going to have a golf tournament, but then there's the camera crew that never even sees the golf course.
Yeah.
They're working in the trucks back there.
Well, the guys in the back of the media centre, there are guys in there that the only daylight they see is coming to and from the course and going to the food.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that's where you don't think, you know, you're so worried about trying to play good golf. You don't think about what really takes place. So I got to see that and experience it. And that's when it gave me more appreciation for what really goes on behind the scenes. So I love that part of it, but that gave me 9 months of trying to figure out the logo and how to do it right way. So we can sell it. Being a part of a AA baseball team back home, we had already had the minor league baseball experience. So we could kind of put that into LIV Golf and how we want to run our team.
I do love that obviously you've been part of the minor league baseball, but actually I'm loving seeing some of the other guys in LIV who they're getting in to more. Obviously Taylor's part of a bull riding team, and GMAC and Brooks have got their horse.
Yeah.
She's doing actually really well. I don't know if you're into horse racing, but it's doing really well. I've got GMAC up here later, and I'll be pestering him about the horse, seeing which race they're going to enter, so we get some inside tips.
Right.
Another relationship we've had for a long time, we've got a mutual friend in Paul Wood, then VP of Engineering at Ping. You've been with Ping. I don't think anyone really remembers you not really being Ping. And what's it like to have had such an in-depth, long... Paul described the Ping staff as family.
Yep.
That you've all been together for so long. And he was saying one of the important things when people went to LIV, he said, well, we're not going to stop working together because they're part of our family. And that Ping episode's got so many views we did, because it was interesting to see a manufacturer's point of view on golf and MOI and all the stuff they talk about, but also some of the human side. Do you want to speak on your relationship with Ping? Because you've been with them for so long.
So I started playing with Ping equipment when I was 8. And then, because back then, and that was in mid 80s, so it was hard to find left-hand equipment, right?
Yeah.
But Ping was making...
Still is.
Right, but Ping was making left-hand equipment back then because that's just how they are, right?
Yeah.
They're trying to help people play better golf. And so I've been with them since I was 8. I signed a lifetime deal with them, so I'm going to be with Ping for my life. John Solheim, I call him Big John, because there's John K. He's the president right now, but so he's Little John. But so Big John is like my granddad. Meeting him, talking with him, I run things by him, trust his voice, trust who he is. It's a family-owned business. They're the only ones that own it. So they can do what they want, and they're trying to make equipment to make people better. And it doesn't matter if you're a pro or not, they have equipment for you. And so I've always felt like I was a good voice. Always felt like they trusted my voice. They go through their due diligence to find the right people. And they've never fired a pro. Pros leave, but not because they fired them.
Yeah.
And they're once you're in their family and you stay in their family, they're not getting rid of you. And so there's a lot of beauty. There's a lot of things they do behind the scenes to help different people, disabilities, military. There's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes that they don't tell the world about because you don't have to, right? You don't do these things so that the world sees and hopefully they buy more of your equipment. You do that out of the kindness of your heart, and that's the family that owns Ping.
Seems to be a mutual relationship with the way that you operate and the way they operate. So it's a very natural fit to be together.
Yeah, the way we try to live our lives are very similar. But when you look at the mold of Ping, I'm outside the box the way I think and the way I do things. No lessons, pink driver, and Ping is this mold, right? Kind of conservative, kind of black and white, and then there's me, and so. But it's a good fit. It's been a good fit for me. I think they appreciate me as well. I mean, they wouldn't give me a lifetime deal if they didn't. And so it's been like I said, that's my family. I mean, there's no other way about it. I love how they do things. I love how they do business, and I love how they treat people.
I think one of the things that I think is great about Ping is that they've got some really big names with such different games. And if you want ever proof of, as Paul said, the best testament in the world to being a good club manufacturer and good club fitting, and I said it's got to be the fact that Bubba can swing it any way he wants. You've got Tony Finau, who's got a backlift which is about 2 inches long.
Yes.
And then you've got Louis, that's like a silky metronome.
Right.
You've got the three staffers there that you couldn't put the three of you next to you. I know you're a lefty, but do you know what I mean? If you swapped you around, you couldn't be any more different in swing planes and everything else.
And Lee Westwood, right?
Yeah.
Lee Westwood hitting it dead straight, right? Like, I mean, that's what you remember Lee Westwood for, right? It's just this. And then you got me swinging for the fences. You got Tony. Yeah, it's crazy.
I Tony's backlift. I said, Paul, how did you get a shaft and a club head to match Tony coming here? And you've got Bubba, who's nice, long and languid and getting through. Yeah, it's brilliant.
And then you got Victor Hovland too. When it looks like he almost comes across it, right? Yeah. So it's just everybody's different. Yeah, it's crazy. But you're right. I've never thought about that. How different the molds are of the individuals, and then Ping makes it work.
Yeah. I've got a couple more questions. That was okay, and I just want to focus on teamwork. So I was lucky enough last year to play in the Pro-Am at LIV London.
Okay.
And I was blessed to play one of the nicest young men I've ever met, which is Matt.
Yeah.
So I had 18 holes with Matt Wolf, and I loved it. And he's such a lovely guy. And obviously, there's been a lot of, Taylor's not on your team, you traded for Matt. There's been a lot of that talk, but I'd rather focus on the fact that let's look at how well Matt is performing and the lift he's got from being part of the Range Goat family. That seems to be huge for him, that support. And I jokingly referred to you guys yesterday. I was on the range and I was filming you guys while I was on the range. I talked about that you actually look like brothers. Like you were the big brother, I apologise.
Yeah, it's okay.
You're the big brother, but it looked like you've got your brothers with you and that family tightness seemed to really be there.
Yeah, so Wolf, I've known Wolf for a while, 5 years or so. And George Gankis, his swing coach. But Wolf is a social butterfly. He wants to engage with people. He wants to talk to people. Obviously, when we get inside the ropes, we all get nervous, right? We all try to perform at a high level, and you get tense, you get excited, all those wrapped into one, right? And it makes a ball of fury. And not only him, but everybody, right? Except maybe DJ. DJ looks like Dustin Johnson looks like he's just like whatever.
Someone said to me, Dustin looks like he's always thinking about finding more fishing spots.
Right, exactly.
Like he's just like, would that be a good place to go?
Right. And so when I think about Wolf, I think about a 24-year-old kid that's trying to figure out where he's going. He is a great golfer. He wants to perform at a high level, and then I think about who he is as a person and what he wants to do as a person, and how he treats people as a person. And it's like any sport, right? Coaches fit some team mottos, players fit some coaches and team mottos, and so you're just trying to find the right fits. And
it's a jigsaw in many ways.
Yeah, right. And so with my personality and who I am, wrote my book about my mental struggles, and so I wanted Wolf to be part of my social group, now sort of part of my team, because now LIV started. Reached out to him a few times, and now it worked out perfectly where I could put him on my team and I can influence him. and hopefully do the right things for him. And but I think, you know, it's the right situation, the who I am, who he is, his best friend, Peter Uihlein. So I had to make a couple trades to get him on the team, but you know, I think we're
And
gelling well.
Is that fun? The trading piece, looking at that, because
was
I think that adds so much intention and so much interest. And I know we're still in the infancy of LIV, but as LIV gets bigger, I think many people think there might be 2 more teams coming next year with whatever else as the LIV League grows, and
Right.
a lot of talk about will it go to 60 and 15 teams to 4. But the more teams that come in and the more it builds, the more this trading is going to happen, isn't it?
I think so, because people just, you know, maybe a team or a captain from Europe wants European players. Maybe Americans want Americans. Whatever it is, there's going to be a reasons why you change them. It just doesn't fit the mold. And so for me, the hard part, there's 2 sides to this. A trade it looks easy on paper, like, hey, I'm just going to trade for that guy. But calling your buddy who you just battled with for a year and saying, hey, man, here's what I'm thinking. And this is why I'm thinking that. And I want to be courteous to you, but I want the range goats to move in this direction. So that's the hard part. Making the trade for Wolf is easy, but now I've got to call the person I'm trading. Now I've got to call the person that I traded for Peter, and I've got to tell them that I love them, but I think this is better for us. And I think it's better for you and better for them, better for me, and all these things. So you have to sell that to them and understand that and why you do it. And I've always been truthful to everybody. I'm not going to hide anything. So I want everybody to know the truth. Like, if I'm trading you, I'm going to tell you why, and then why I think it's good for you and why I think it's better for me to do this. And it's easy with Wolf. It's Wolf. I love Wolf. I respect Thomas. I respect Peter. But Wolf is a different, he's so young.
People forget he's young.
Exactly, because he's been around. He's been around forever.
He's 25.
Yeah, exactly. And so, yes, the hard part was making the trades. That phone call. The easy part is calling people and saying, "Hey, Wolf, you're on my team." So yeah, it's fun. It's exciting, and we're the first team and the second team to make a trade. We're the only 2 trades out there, so we did them both. But it's cool. I think when the fans start to really open up their minds, I think LIV is going to take off because of that. Because you can have some crazy things happen. Middle of the season this year, they're going to give you a 2-week or 3-week window where you can make trades in the middle of the season. I'm not saying there will be any trades. I don't know of any right now that people are thinking about, but you never know, though.
Look, Bubba, I could talk about trades. I could talk about LIV and golf forever. I've taken up so much of your time. Thank you so much. Have a great day out there today. You're one of the good guys in the world, so thank you for all you
heard it. He said it. I'm one of the good guys. He's a liar. What?
Thank you, everybody. Take care. Have a lovely day. Cheers, buddy. Thank you so much.
Thank you.